Hello, I'm Alex and this is Ginger Head & Co, my sewing vlog. Today I'm going to review this blind hammer, Rittershausen Success BL06, and I'm going to show you how it works. It's also sometimes called blind stitch or flat felling machine. If you want to see more videos like this, please like, subscribe and leave me a comment below. This is an industrial blind hammer. It's portable, so it's not very big. I got mine from Babylock, but it's not made as Babylock, so it's Success BL60. In the UK it's sold by Sew Essential at the moment. It's about £450, 440. It used to be sold by Frank Nat, but I'm not sure if they do them anymore. It's made in Japan. Mind you, if you order this particular machine, it might take ages to arrive because for some reason it's sold from Germany, so it travels from Japan to Germany and then from Germany to the UK. It's a single process machine, so it does blind hemming. It does blind hemming really well on all sorts of fabric. Depending on your model, the speed is going to be 1200 to 1700 stitches per minute. When you buy it, it comes almost ready for use, but you will have to attach the clamp and the thread holder. So you attach it yourself. It's a very simple machine. There is nothing too complex about it. You've got your needle here and the needle is curved, and it's very important to check the system, the needle system. So mine, it usually tells you what it is. Mine is here, so LW60. And I use 3.5 needle, but if you are doing something thinner, it's going to be 3. If you're doing something thicker, it's going to be 4. But again, check your manual. It's always ready to work, so you can start sewing immediately. The motor is powered by electricity, basically. You get your machine, you get a set of tools as well, and an instruction manual. And as always in industrial machines, the instruction manual is very thin and it doesn't tell you loads. You do need to oil this machine, and you do need to oil it rather often, much more often than any domestic machine. And you lubricate it here, well, in all the holes, so here, 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 and you can slightly oil all the moving parts, so even that, because that moves, that's the table. If you are blind hemming cuffs, anything narrow, this is going to be useful. It's like a free arm in your machine, and you can screw it tight by using this clamp here. I'm not sure how much you can see. This little clamp here is for the table. Then threading. Threading is not difficult. As you can see, I'm using a special thread for blind hemming. Some people hate it, and you can easily use any sort of thread for your blind hemming. I prefer this one. And as I said, it's not very difficult. It goes through here, then this is the tension disc, and this is the most important part of the machine. So if there are any problems threading, that might be the only issue, that it doesn't go through this space here. Make sure that it does, that it's threaded properly. Then you go through here, here, and through the needle. And it's not very easy to thread the needle because the needle is curved and mine is quite small in size. So you might use a special tool for threading your needle. But that's it. That's all the threading. It does have a protective plate here, which I didn't attach. I can show you. Looks like that. It's see-through, and you attach it with this little thingy here. It would be like that. Okay. And it protects your eyes from any broken needles or anything else. Well, in this particular machine, the needle is LW6T. For thinner fabric, it's needle size 3 or 11. I think in the States you use a different system, so it would be 11. Then there is size 3.5 for cotton generally. So anything that is over 220 grams per meter. So medium weight, I would say. And then size 4 for anything thicker, and size 4 will go through wool and really thick fleece. The machine can be used with knit fabric and with woven fabric. It works really well on any sort of fabric so far. I've never had any problems. If you want to replace the needle, you will need to unscrew that, put the needle in and screw it back together. So when you unscrew it, you will see that this part comes off as well. To start sewing, I will show you in a minute, but to start sewing, you simply lift the knee lift, put your fabric here, and you can start sewing. You can adjust the tension by screwing that nut, right? So that's the tension nut. To increase the thread tension, turn the tension nut away from you, so it's going to be clockwise. To decrease the tension, you are turning the tension nut towards you, so it's counterclockwise, this direction. Then you've got this little screw here, or not so little, with less and more, and it couldn't be simpler, could it? This is adjustment for the penetration, so how much fabric the needle penetrates, so how much of the fabric the needle catches. So we're going to use less for thicker fabric and more for very, very thin fabric, and it ranges from 0 to 7. So again, well, 1, let's say, between 0 and 1 is going to be for super thick fabric, and between 6 and 7, that is going to be for super, super lightweight, silky types. Then you've got your hand wheel and you turn it away from you, always away from you. This is an industrial machine, away from you. Then there is another thing. Let me just grab the camera. There is another thing. This rod is for skip or no skip. So you can see that it says 1 to 1, no skip. So it's going to be every stitch. The needle is going to penetrate the fabric every stitch. When you turn it to skip, as I've got at the moment, it's going to be every second stitch. So you will catch a bit of your fabric every second stitch. And this might be a bit hard to show you, but if you want to change the stitch length, you can. You remove the side plate and you will see how much oil there is, because there is always some oil. I'm very generous with my oil. You remove the screws that are holding the side plate. You remove the side plate with some oil in it. And I'm not sure how much you can see. In here, you can regulate the stitch length. When you look very, very closely, and I don't think I can show it to you very well, but let me try. When you look there, in here, there are some numbers there. I think they are from 1 to 8, but I can't see it, so I'm not sure. And you turn it to regulate the stitch, to make it longer or shorter. I'll screw the side plate back onto the machine. It's ready to be used. The use is very simple, as I said. You lift the knee lifter, put the fabric under the foot. You do your stitching, so you do all your blind hemming. You remove the work by turning the hand wheel so that the needle is up, and you just pull the fabric from under the foot, and that's it. It locks the stitches. You don't need to do anything else. In this position, it will lock the stitches. Some people are worried that it kind of damages the needle faster. Maybe. I haven't noticed that this way of finishing your stitches damages my needle, but maybe. If you are worried about that, you can, again, use your nail lift. You can cut the stitches and then remove them so the needle is not pulled. Okay, I'm going to do some samples very quickly. So we can start hemming. As I said, you can use either knits or wovens. It doesn't really matter, all thicknesses. You can pre-press your fabric, but you don't have to. You can just fold it. You will have to press your hem after it's hemmed. So press under or fold under and under again. Depress that section by using your nail lift. Put your fabric under the foot. Make sure that the needle is going to penetrate through your fabric. And go. And we want to finish, so I'm turning the hand wheel, raising the needle to the highest position, lifting or depressing that part by using my nail lift, and pulling the fabric from under the foot. And it's locked. See? That stitch, the last stitch, is locked, and you can't really undo it by, well, you can if you undo that part, but it goes through the loop. And it's locked. It goes through the loop, the last loop, so it's not going to unfold unless you do that. So you remove the last loop and then you can pull it easily. So as you can see, it's a chain stitch on that side. I'm not sure if you can see. I'll take something black in a second. Okay, so it forms chain stitch on the wrong side of the fabric, and it looks like that. So, well, blind stitch, it's meant not to be visible, so I'm afraid in my case you can't really see anything. Let's take something black. So I'm going to fold under and fold under again, the knee lift, and let's go. And let's finish. So raise the needle to the highest position, pull to the back, the stitch is locked in the last loop. Okay, it won't unfold. And can you see the stitches here? And that's the right side of the fabric. And when you press it, all the little, almost invisible now, but all the dots that you can sometimes see are going to be ironed out. Also, if you are lining your garment, so let's say that this is a hem of my skirt and I'm going to line it and the fabric is thick. So let's say that I've finished the hem, the edge of the fabric. In my case, it's overlocked. I don't want to turn it twice. I just want to have it thinner because it's going to be covered by lining. I do that for my scuba dresses very often, that I just overlock and do that. I'm going to show you in a second. So I'm going to blind hem using the overlock edge as my guide. And finishing by raising the needle to the highest position, pulling my work from under the foot, and the stitch is locked. I'm afraid you're not going to see anything now, but my thread goes here, and that's going to be the wrong side of the fabric, of the garment. Okay, so this is my hem, and if the hem is going to be covered with lining, it won't show. Also, on the really thick fabric, that method is better because the hem won't show on the other side, so it's going to be thinner. Okay, and that's the blind hem. It's pretty ridiculous that I'm trying to show you the blind hem that is meant to be invisible, but I hope you can see the tiny dots, and it indicates where the needle went. And the hems are super strong. It's a perfect little machine. If you have a home business, if you do a lot of hemming, that might be a good investment for you. I have tried a few other models. I know that you can buy them as cheap as £200. That might be an option for you. I like this machine, and it does feel like something that is made in Japan, so it does feel very sturdy. I have never had any problems with it. It's quite intimidating because it's very fast, so as you might have noticed, I was trying to go slowly, or slower than the machine can. It can hem a full circle skirt in 3 minutes, which is brilliant, I think. And the hems last. I have never had a hem undoing. I'm very happy with the machine. I wouldn't recommend it to everyone because this is an extra. So this is something that you can live without. If you like hemming by hand, or if you use your blind hammer foot on your regular sewing machine, that will probably be a waste of money. And it's not a cheap thing, so I'm not sure if everybody needs it. But for some people who like their toys, it might be something that you want to look into. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon. Bye.